It came after a single.
Hey, that's not you, Charlie.
Nice hit, Nate. Well, I
Yeah,
didn't
it was,
see
Tom.
I didn't see it.
I knocked the piss out of it.
We had an advantage. Too bad the stream missed it. Unrecorded.
Just be short to the ball, Dan. That's all. He's not throwing very hard. You're good. Be short to the ball.
Get him in here, Chuck.
Here we go, zeros.
I don't think anybody's watching, but if somebody's watching, just say something in the chat. I see 2 people, I think. If anyone out there is receiving this, just type some garbage in the chat. It doesn't have to be garbage.
Hey, Chuck.
Say hello.
Somebody's not supposed to spin. You fight, Chuck.
That hit right. Didn't seem fast enough to be straight.
Guys hear me? Stream good?
Yeah.
Come on, bud, drive him in. Get that run.
It could be a split.
Everybody out here, second-hand information.
Comes with more gravitas if somebody else says it. Hey, good take. Come on, Jeff.
The legend can pick up a few miles per hour every tap.
Power. The end is coming. Kind of fast, but I assume that that's
Good stick here now, Chuck.
Hey
Come on,
Barb,
bud.
is this choppy, and is the volume okay? Here you go, Dano. Once I get the stream taken care of, we're gonna just set the table, let everybody know what's going on, get you ready for 3 days of streaming. But I just got to get all of this stuff set up. It's so hard. Volume great. Is the stream choppy?
Come on, Dan.
Thanks, Chris.
Baby.
Volume is good. That's excellent. The question is the stream quality now. If it's choppy, it's going to be a problem. I'll probably have to switch phones. A little pixelated. I'm sure that's just not us, Barb. Not as choppy, but picture isn't as good. Okay. Not as good because it's from the side, or not as good because it's blurry? It's a good fastball. Don't worry. No worries, Barb. Yeah, I could. The problem with standing behind home plate is I got to be separate from all these guys, and I'm better than before. Okay, I think we're just gonna ride with this then.
No.
If this were a normal tournament, I would just stand behind home plate. Blurry. Okay, I don't know how to fix that. It's blurry pixelated. Shit.
Just hold it in the middle of a link. No.
Maybe that was just
There.
Maybe. I mean, that's what I was doing. It's pretty good now. It's pretty good time. Okay. Then I don't know what else I can do here.
Right there.
This has been very difficult. Half hour trying to get everything up and running. We were way too ambitious. Again, the problem is I'm going to be playing a lot of this tournament, so I can't just stand with the camera in hand. I got to be moving. I have to hand this around, and fortunately the view's not going to be the greatest, but okay, let's get started. I'm gonna check back in on the chat occasionally, but I usually shut the chat down, or I don't watch the chat because it's distracting to me, and I don't want to see negative comments. So it's easier just to say whatever I say and not worry about what people are thinking. So I think I'm going to hide the chat. If there are issues, say Barb. If there's some kind of serious technical issue when you're watching, or Christy, or any one of the wives, just call your husband and let him know that there's a problem with the stream. I'll check back in on the chat occasionally, but I'm just going to get to doing what I usually do, which is just talking about the game. So here we go. First, let's get a score in an inning. So Kenny, where are we at? Give me a game reset.
Let's see.
We're at the top of third, score 4-0. Bob's given up 4 hits, no errors, 1 balk. They've left 6 runners on. Skeeters got 3 hits. There was 1 error. It was a wild pitch. No, it was a pass ball on the catcher. I think. I don't remember what the error was.
And this link is out there. People can click on the link and see the online scoring, right?
Yeah, you go to the Twitter account for the Skeeters, and you'll find the iScore link. It'll give you a pitch-by-pitch recap of how the game's going, real time. So I'm trying to keep track of balls and strikes too, like where they're landing in the zone, what pitches are coming. So you can kind of get a little bit of, I don't know, like a major league cast going if you're watching online, and gives you a good feel of the ball game.
Okay, so, and again, you find that by going to the Skeeter, I think it's TC, if you do like a search in Twitter for TC MABL Skeeters, if you just put Skeeters, you're going to get a lot of different teams. TC MABL Skeeters, you don't have to be on Twitter to do the search, and you'll see the Skeeter Twitter feed, and there you should find a link that will, it's end of the bat, fly ball to right field. Chuck Stagers catches, 1 out. You'll find a link to a online scoring system that we're using. So I know one of the challenges doing these streams, and one of the unpleasant things about listening, is you never really know what's going on. If you pull that up, and if you're on your browser, you just open it up as a second window, you can see what's happening in real time. So encourage everybody to do that. I wish there was a second stream I could route people to that was just a picture from behind home plate. Diamond Dan Casazza is usually in charge of that stream, but Diamond's not down with us this year, so it's just going to be this handheld camera. Not a great shot. But like I said, I think most people watching are family members. I think they're as interested in seeing their guys up close as they are having a panoramic view of the field. Bob Gordon on the mound. Let's go around the infield. We got Nate Stark at first. Nate is not a Skeeter in real life. He doesn't play with the team on Sundays, but we brought him down to kind of replace Matt Grill on the mound, as much as anybody can replace Matt Grill anywhere. We got Jeff Freericks at second base, Seth Fenton at shortstop, we got Casey Johnson playing third. Left field, we got Phil Allen. Center field, Tommy DeCork. Right field, Chuck Terhark. We'll be talking a lot about all these guys in the next couple of days. I've played with these guys for 15 years, so no shortage of stories to tell. We're a team out of Minneapolis, play in the Twin Cities Men's Adult Baseball League. We've won the last 3 35-plus division titles. But if I were to compare us to inside pitch, it's like it was called a strike, the batter thought it was a ball. If I was to compare us to a team in this tournament, to a tournament you guys might all be familiar with, I'd say if this is the NCAA tournament, this team we're playing is a blue blood. This is like a Kentucky or a North Carolina or a Duke. This team won the tournament last year. They beat another 35-plus team from Minnesota, the Mammoth, in the championship game. They're very good. I would say, you know, we're coming out of a call it a conference, the TC MABL conference, and we've won the last 3 years, but we're kind of like a mid-major, like a Butler or I don't know, St. Mary's. I don't really know my college basketball, but we're not on the same level as these guys in terms of our talent. The Mammoth were. The Mammoth are another blue blood. So as a mid-major, you know, this would probably be something like a, I don't know, like a 3-12 matchup. Is it 3-13, 2? It wouldn't be a 1-16. Maybe a 2-15 or a 3-14. At any rate, we're like the 16, 15, or 14 team. If I'm honest, I didn't come into this game expecting a lot. I think we're going to lose. Hope is that we can keep it close. Bob navigated that inning successfully. Skeeters are down 4-0. I think it's about the 4th inning. Good work, Bob. How's the arm?
My arm.
Yeah, okay. It's there. Jeff, good play.
Thank you.
You're getting like a sense of calm with your first baseman out there now. You feel comfortable.
What do we think about this pitcher court? Give
good.
us a professional hitter's breakdown.
One of the better. This is what, third or fourth time coming down to Palm Springs? I'd
Yeah.
say.
He might be the same guy we faced in the championship last year.
Okay.
He's about that same level. If he's not, he's about that same level.
Okay.
Baseball's also great.
Bottom of 3 for
Also,
nothing.
I'm not a very good hitter, so there's that. I'm just distracted by the majestic grandeur that's surrounding us here in lovely Palm Springs, California.
So it's only bottom of the 3? Bottom of 3? Okay, we only missed a couple innings of action. So in terms of our schedule down here this year, it's a 3-game round-robin tournament. We play now, obviously, and then we play at 2:30 this afternoon, so pretty much immediately after this game. And then we play tomorrow, I think at 11:30 or 12:30. The wild card this year, the unfortunate element in play is the weather. Everyone back home has probably heard the phrase atmospheric river in relation to California, Southern California in particular. Well, we are in Palm Springs, which, if you're not familiar, it's kind of southeastern California. So they haven't had they haven't had storms training over them, right? So they haven't gotten a ton of rain as these storms have passed through, but there's another system moving through Southern California. It's a ball to Tom Cork and the team's best hitter. Another system blowing through this weekend. So our hope is that we can get this game in, maybe get a little wet game 2, but hopefully get that game in. And then tomorrow there's wind advisories, which is bad for 2 reasons. 1, it sucks playing in the wind, and 2, it sucks watching a stream when you've got the wind blowing very hard, but we'll do our best. But as far as today goes, we've got this game, and then immediately after, we got a second one. Got plenty of battery power, plenty of people that hand this camera off to do some of the work when I'm out there playing. So still in with a cup of coffee. Hope as I do that we don't get steamrolled. Here's Casey Johnson. Bottom of the 3rd, Skeeters down 4-0. Scored 4 in the 1st. We came early, and they had one guy hit a home run. The other team told us that they got a couple of really good hitters. And again, we faced this team in the championship, we being the Mammoth team out of Minnesota last year. And I was doing that stream. I know that wind's going to pick up. I will get out of the wind when it gets too bad. When I did the stream last year, I mentioned that I kept waiting to see a team that I felt like was kind of better than the Mammoth. You know, back home we play a lot of really good teams, but we hadn't really played anybody that I thought was just clearly better than us. And I remember watching this team play us, and I thought, this team is probably better than the Mammoth. Championship game, they went up early. It's a second strikeout for Casey. He doesn't like that call off the plate. And takes his mask off. Gives Casey a sharp look. Umpire just said, your pitcher. I think what he's saying is he's giving it to his pitcher, giving it to us too. Anyway, I thought this team was at least as good and in many ways better than they seemed better than the Mammoth. They had more guys, at least as much talent. They handled us pretty easily in the first part of the game. They took the foot off the gas. We clawed back. I almost came back in the 9th inning, but when we found out that this team was game 1 on the schedule, our thought was that this would be a tough one. Game 2 is another team that we played last year, the Mammoth. That team we beat somewhere between barely and handily. It wasn't barely, but it wasn't exactly handily either. And our sense is that game 2 is our best chance at winning a game down here in this tournament. So we're going to throw our best pitcher, Nate Stark, game 2. Game 3, we're playing a team that'll be tomorrow that went 15-0. in their baseball league this year. So a 15-0 team. That team also won this tournament a couple years ago. So a 15-0 warm weather California team that won this tournament a couple years ago is another. It's a lot to ask for a mid-major. Is somebody getting these baseballs? They only give us one box, so we don't have a lot of baseballs. So the hope is to survive this one, win game 2, see what we do game 3, and then there is a playoff round. First game would be Sunday afternoon, championship game would be Monday. But in order to get to the playoffs, you got to finish top 2 in your division. There's 4 teams in our division. You play each one of those teams, each one of the 3 other teams in our division once. So we'd have to finish top 2. 1 and 2 isn't going to do it. So if we're just being perfectly honest, I think a good tournament, there's Nate Stark taking a strike on the inside part of the plate. A good tournament for us, I think, would be winning the second game. But we're down here for reasons other than winning this tournament. We'll be talking a lot about that. Let's go get him, Rob Jones. Good. One of my favorite people to cover. Last year, a lot of bird comparisons. Gave us a little hop there. Times we compared him to a pelican, a stork, an ostrich.
Went back old school broadcasting, huh?
Yeah, you know, the view here is not nearly as good as behind home plate, but I don't want to stand behind home. I want to be part of the team this year.
Yeah.
So I think most of the people watching are connected to the Skeeters. They're going to want interactions with the players as much as they want to see the game from behind home plate. So this isn't too bad. You know, my big concern was it would be like 12-0 after 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, take that first inning away, you know, especially Bob starting with a strikeout. First batter is pretty promising, and then the next 4 got on.
The word is that this pitcher's pretty good too.
Yeah. Well, he's had a couple of strikeout lookings.
Well, he got Casey.
Get
Yeah.
those.
Casey's tough to strike out. There aren't any bathrooms around here, so we got to go down, way down there where the bleachers are, and it turns out there's some kind of army, some kind of military parade or show going on down there. So I walked down there in these white jerseys we've got more about those in a while. And you got to basically thread through all of these military people to get to the bathroom. And of course, I look like a clown, middle-aged man in this clown outfit, and I'm surrounded by men in fatigues and their dress uniforms, and it felt a little off being, you know, kind of prancing around in a clown jersey while surrounded by people who are defending the country. But we made it in and out of the bathroom without incident. I'm going to try to hold it for the next 6 hours so I don't have to repeat that experience. Bob Gordon. Call Bob Big Game Bob. It's a good swing. It's a good swing. Dan, what do you think about that pitcher? My brother. I'm going to be batting for Dan next time. I was supposed to be starting the game, but I had to get all this stuff going. So, what do we think of the pitcher, Dan?
I mean, it's hittable. He's a little higher caliber speed-wise than we're accustomed to seeing, I feel. But
Yeah, it felt to me like I felt like your swing was quick, but it wasn't on time. It felt like the timing was a little off, right?
it was a little slow. You know?
No, I don't think it was particularly slow. I think you were just late.
You're trying. Keep trying. I'm gonna have to put tennis shoes on while to chase those foul balls now. So.
Well, you're welcome to have the at-bat if you want it, Dan.
No,
Otherwise, I'll take it.
I'm good
All
with
right.
the one I got there. No, you're running there, so I'm gonna get out.
I'm going to hand this phone off to Chuck Terhark at some point. I think Chuck's going to be doing a fair amount of work, if you want to call it that, on the camera. Bob's strength as a pitcher is his control. Doesn't have a big arm. Throws a lot of strikes.
Hey, right back in this box. Go get him.
I would say his weakness, and I think I can say this because I play center field, Bob has a tendency sometimes to throw the ball over the fat part of the plate. It's changed a little bit. When he was younger, certainly when you go, let's see, two balls back at Bob. Nimbly dodged one, but I think he took the hit on the other one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's up to the bottom.
They're already adding guys to the bottom. It's typically a move you make as a team when you think you've got the other team on the ropes or outclassed or both. You're only up by 4. This happened last year. Mammoth played them. Extended the lineup early, took out a good pitcher.
Yeah, we have some issues with the number.
Mammoth
Sorry, we got a double
clawed
zero,
back.
so-
Mammoth don't really claw. Stampeded back. It's a line drive at Jeff. Ooh, we're going to double him up. How about that? Double play.
4-3.
Soft line drive to Jeff Freericks at second base. Looks like the runner at first kind of broke on the pitch. Had no chance to get back. Jeff made the throw. Inning is top of the 4th. Skeeters are down 4-0. Again, if you're just joining, go to the TCMABL Twitter feed. There will be a link to an iScore window you can pull up on your computer, and it will show you the scoring in real time. I know that wind advisory is tomorrow, 35 to 45. It's a fly ball to center. It's tailing. It's going to drop. Runner on second, wheels home, scores. It's 5. Didn't hit it hard, but we've got middle-aged men patrolling the outfield. Skeeters got down here Thursday. A lot of relaxation the past couple days. 2 down, man on first. The Boo Bears. The name of the team is the Boo Bears. Boo Bears. That's a company of some sort. That's Mayor Jordan. I like his style, you know, the high socks.
It's very old school Pittsburgh Pirate there.
It's coordinated too. I respect that.
Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. The wind is going to get worse and worse. It's hard to watch these streams when you got the wind blowing into the camera. What am I going to do about it? Oh, kind of came up and in on this batter with a fastball. Batter got the hands between himself and the baseball. Got enough of the baseball, fouled it off down the line. 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Skeeters down 5-0.
Oh, there's a nice pitch.
Looks like it's giving pitches on the left and the right. Batter did not like that. Welcome to amateur baseball, number 16.
Jam out there, guys. Looking good. Looking good.
You're quite proud of this uniform, aren't you?
I think it looks really good.
Yeah? Has anyone asked you what on earth is going
I
on?
think you could nitpick how the Skeeters started at the top of the 1st. Sounds like the viewers at home may have a few nitpicks at the start of this game. But I think everybody's going to say the Skeeters look pretty good and fresh. Have you seen Seth Fenton?
What doesn't really work,
Glow in the dark.
it doesn't really work if you've got these jerseys with pants that aren't exactly white, it's not a good look.
I trust you'll find a way to tope up that jersey soon.
Pretty good picture, Case. Pretty good picture.
Yeah, I mean, he's around the zone and stuff. I got called out on a pitch that was 6 inches out. Curveball that started across and broke hard early. Not happy about that, but we have to jump on him early.
What does he have? 3 pitches: fastball, curveball, frisbee, slider, that kind of thing.
I mean, it could be a change because it's kind of staying in.
Okay.
Fastball, curveball.
Okay.
You're saying a good split.
I haven't seen the.
Is it tumbling? Yeah. It sounds like a splitter.
His grip and change.
Got Phil Allen. Phil's wife and daughters may be watching. Got Phil batting cleanup. The house today, I said I think we have 4 legitimate hitters in this lineup, which is a fairly short runway. If we don't take off at the end of that kind of 4-hitter stretch, and Phil is the last hitter in that stretch, we're going to have some problems, I think. A team like the Mammoth has like a 10-hitter runway. That runway is like a circle. It never ends. We've got, I think, 3 to 4 guys who are, like, I would say, national level talent. Corcoran, Johnson, Stark. And then Phil Allen here, who's had some really good years in the TC Miguel of late. Doesn't look like much of a hitter, much of an athlete, really. I think he's somebody who could play well in these tournaments. And then the rest of us, we got the bat to the ball, ground ball, field, throw, went out. The rest of us, as I said, were regional talents. And that's the start of this, the kind of the regional talent portion of the lineup. Rob Jones. I would describe Rob's ping pong style as whimsical. A lot of unnecessary swoops and drop shots. Right? Talking to Tom Corcoran here. It's a very whimsical style. We did a lot of ping pong the past 2 days. I'd say Nate Stark is the best ping pong player. Is that fair to say?
I don't think it's particularly close. I think Nate Stark plus any Skeeter beats any 2 Skeeters.
Nate Stark may beat any 2 Skeeters by himself, right? Well, it's actually easier to
Well,
play.
yeah, that'd be a...
Rob Jones is evolving as a hitter. He's been doing a lot of IBEX. A lot of people don't know what IBEX is. He's been doing a lot of indoor baseball
experiences.
Nice.
There's
a line drive, soft line drive.
If people don't know what IBEX is, meanwhile they typed it in to get to this stream. Yeah, I probably just clicked on the link, but.
And they're wondering, why can't it just be IBEX? Why do I have to type in indoor baseball experience?
I'm the one who has to tweet that
Break?
out very often.
High five? Your umpire?
No, was there one?
Did it break?
Sorry, I missed that. Have you gone to the bathroom yet down there?
No.
You walk down there and it's all these military people in dress and fatigues, and then you've got this clown outfit on. It's awful. People like are looking at you askance. Like,
Aren't those ROTC uniforms just as clowny as?
no, I mean most of these guys down there they look like dress uniforms and then fatigues.
I just think it's goofy to kind of stand around up there in a line and yell things, but glad they protect our country.
Right, you better throw that in there.
I don't want to be too insensitive to
No.
the most respected people.
Here's Seth Fenton. Seth has been a Skeeter mainstay. This team's been around since 2009.
Hit the first double in Skeeter history.
He did. The vast majority of guys in this roster have been playing together since 2009. Maybe not the vast majority, certainly the majority. Seth has been on the team since day one. Pounded that one into the plate. Generally, when you do that. Hey, Dan, am I up next? Who's up next? Kenny, who's up next? Oh. I was looking into the dugout while I was saying that, not realizing that it was a change of inning. So you saw Seth kind of pound that right into the plate. That typically happens when the pitch, you just laid on the pitch. It got too deep. You didn't hit it out in front of the plate. Basically hit the ball over the plate, top of the plate. Just top it straight down.
And the grounder up the middle for me where I could have found him at second. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was it.
I mean, that would have been a slow tag option.
So Dan, am I leading off next inning?
You're up after Chuck.
Okay, so it's Jeff, Chuck, me.
Jeff, Nate, Chuck. Genrick.
So
D with a T.
do you need to get
It's
some
a hybrid.
some tea work in to get your mind right for this next?
If I had a T, I would. No, I'm going to hand this off to somebody very soon because I got to go get loose.
How do you feel? You feel like you got your string legs under you? You know, you're starting to settle in.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the wind. It's picking up a little bit. And you know what it's like listening to this, well, period. But then you lay wind on top of it and it yeah.
One. Besides the sky. Like philosophically?
We're in Desert Springs. It's kind of like a mountain range shaped like a horseshoe, and we're tucked into it.
Talked about this gentleman, number 13.
Yeah, I mentioned this guy hit a home run the game before. Takes a really big swing. Let's get a look at this guy's healthy swing. You can hear a grunt.
It's on, Nate.
It's going to come back, but not enough. Nearly kills somebody in the stands.
They got umbrellas. He hits the pop-ups pretty high.
He really gets good extension, man. Good extension, good follow through. This guy could play for the Mammoth.
You check out those umbrellas, or those Genrick quality umbrellas, or are they something else?
You better hope it's something else. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Bob Gordon, that will be remarked upon tonight in the hot tub. Believe it or not, there is such a thing as a 12-person hot tub because we have it at our house. We have 13 people on this trip, and all 13 are staying in the same house. It's more of a compound than a house. Somewhat miraculously, the hot tub is maintained. There's a line drive to left center. Phil Allen's going to cut it off. Phil Allen's an excellent left fielder. Runner gets to first base. We are in the top of the fifth. Scores 5-0. Play 9 innings. Can't start a game after 2.5 hours. Don't think we're going to run into time issues. This one's going pretty quick. Bob's a very fast worker. So we got a 13-man hot tub. It's staying really hot, 104, which is great. A lot of the team took a day trip to Joshua Tree yesterday. Most of us came in, I think everybody came in on Thursday at some point. We did run into an issue. Felt rather more than just an issue. When we arrived at the house, we realized that we have 13 guys and just 10 beds. We ended up organizing and conducting a bed draft. Basically a draft of all the beds. We found a couple of air mattresses, so we did find a place for 13 people to sleep. What number did you get, Dan?
Number 7.
Dan got number 7. I got the number 2. I was hopping around with glee when I got number 2. We priced the sleeping spots according to, there's a way out in front, here left the top of the bat. We priced the sleeping spots according to bed, and the quality of the accommodation, because, for instance, there's a bunk bed in a closet. That did not get a big price tag on it. There's a end of the bat line drive. And then the bat number to Casey Johnson. I'm sure you couldn't see that. Casey stumbled, caught the ball, flipped it to Jeff Feericks at second, tagged the base, got the run on the fourth. There was kind of a derisive and mocking Sports Center sound coming from the other dugout, suggesting that was a circus play, but it didn't need to be. We got the out though. So I got one of the really good rooms. We gave Bob the best room because Bob's kind of the house mom, doing a lot of the cooking.
House dad.
Yeah, you're right. I realize it's kind of sexist, probably. That was extraordinarily sexist. If it were possible to cancel a stream that 4 people are watching, the stream would be canceled. Bob organized the house, so we just gave him the best bedroom. And then it may have been, yeah, you know,
in between.
those are one of the slow motion plays that you see on this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ball's in slow motion, field is in slow motion, the base runner's in slow motion, the throw is in slow motion.
Even the call.
Even the call
was a little slow.
He wasn't on the nose with the call. Everything, it's like there's a lag.
That's not a delay in the stream.
Yeah, right. That wasn't your screen buffering. That was actually real time right there. .24, very quiet at the plate, hands high.
Willie Mays.
Got a good load. He's shaking his head, taking a deep breath, gathering himself. He looks like he's a very competent hitter.
He's got the pants around the back of the cleats. That's all the rage with the youngins these days.
Is it?
Yeah.
You on the screen? Maybe he was looking for commentary on that call.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little predictable. Solid line drive to left field.
Two outs.
Are there 2 outs?
Yep.
2 outs. Top of the 5th. The score is 5-0.
Any base here. Any base.
Don't know where that was. It hesitated before throwing back. That said something over his shoulder. Didn't want to show the umpire up, but signaled that he thought that was a strike. That might have been a makeup call. Is that a little low?
Did he call that strike?
Called it a strike.
No, called the ball. 2-0.
Oh, he did call it a ball?
I think he was saying no.
The ball hit probably 320 feet down the right field line, but 100 feet foul.
One of the few foul balls I've not had to chase today.
Got him way out in front. I think that's going to drop. It does. Chuck was playing very deep out there. What you have to do. I mean, that guy almost hit it over the fence the swing before. Fell in front of Chuck. 2 men score. Runner on first advances to third. That moves up to 7-0. If you're watching because you want to see a Skeeter victory, I would encourage you to stick around and pay close attention during game 2, because I think that's the game. We have a shot.
A lot of time.
It's better way up in the box. Probably accustomed to someone who throws harder. How did you feel, Dan, going to the bathroom with all those military people? I felt a little bit like a clown in this outfit. All those people in their fatigues and...
The journey to the bathroom wasn't so bad, but retrieving foul balls in the parking lot, it's like an ROTC convention back there, and there were some automatic rifles that were on display.
Really? And you're just kind of cantering by in your jersey.
Just looking for baseball. No mean no harm.
Feeling a little drop of rain. Our concern with the rain is that because we're in a desert area that gets like 10 days of rain a year, if they get any appreciable amount of rain, these fields, they're just going to sit on these fields. I don't think they're going to soak up the rain very well. All right, I'm going to have to hand this off to somebody. I'm going to get ready.
There's been like 3 or 4 of them that kind of float out there and just.
Hey, Rob, you want to do this while I get loose?
I could probably do that. Jeff, Nate, Chuck.
What do you say this time here, boy?
You hitting for Dan?
I'm afraid so.
Make sure to announce yourself.
Time.
Yeah, I gotta hold this.
Yeah. And then that's what they're seeing.
It's a long ways. You gotta go to the football field.
Tie your shoe behind the dugout.
Sorry, Bob. That was on 5, right?
Those are weird, like,
Telling Seth there's no Yeah, we're not gonna argue with that. Yeah. So's our book.
Oh, all right, perfect. That's my. Oh, I struck him out great. They did that. Like yell at when he was pitching. I don't do that card.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, next pitch is a strike.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Good to know.
Swing hard, guys.
It's not something a lot of umpires would say while being recorded.
Or at all.
So is this 11, the number of people watching?
I think so.
Pretty good. If you want me to say hi to anybody?
Oh, my mom's probably out
Hi, Sue Genrick. If Christy and Hugh or Barb and Charlie and Tony and Yuzu are watching, hello.
You sure you want the No, it's all you. Break a leg.
get off your big Jeff.
Where's Tom been staying here?
Yeah. I think we should just go get Tom's warm-up on the street. So that's what the people want to see.
You want to see it?
Nobody wants to
Is Jeff's family watching? Nate, you got kids watching at home? All right, well, I'll make sure to miss it. We'll get a finger in the way.
Oh, good swing.
Nate, you want to take us through your last single up the middle?
Somebody on that court. Beauty. See it?
Yeah.
Well done. Precision when executed.
So I think this pitcher, if anybody's interested in the baseball, is he's good. He's better than what the Skeeters are maybe used to, but
He'd be
I
a
would-
very plus pitcher.
yeah,
35 plus TCM would be a.
I wouldn't say he's unhittable, but he's proven to be so to me anyway.
And a lot of Skeeters.
Yeah. Well, you too, right, Tom? You're 0 for 2. First ball was well struck.
Come on, Dan.
Oh!
What a catch. Get it on
There was
stream.
a barehanded catch at the
Barehanded.
knees in the parking lot with metal cleats on. And just
Need one?
yeoman-like effort to just run back and get the next foul ball.
You don't have that throw in your bag?
It's a lot. I got that there on my bag all day. Here we go.
There we go, Jeff. Tough hop. Oh. Jeff is one of the Skeeters that changed numbers in the new uniform swap. He's now number 24. Some of you may recognize him as old number 13. Very nice. You got more applause than you'll get for any other play.
That's a government play of the day right there.
So Nate Sayre has been catching. We'll expect him to catch another game if we get it in this afternoon, and then one or hopefully two tomorrow. There's Dan's back on his grind. See Charles Chuck Terhark in the frame, obscuring the pitcher. So we move over a little bit here. There you go, Nate. Nate has taken the tact of throwing the bat out there, but he's finding the barrel so far. Not his Hitrax indoor batting cage swing. That looks a little different than what he's up there now trying. This is the team that the Minnesota Mammoth played last year in the championship, and they were aware before the game started that we were likely the same team. Although the astute viewer may recognize that we are in fact the Skeeters. That's got a few key differences.
Dan's got tracked.
There's Dan's back at it. So I think there's a chance that we're seeing one of their better pitchers, as they expected us to be competitive for winning this tournament. I don't think we've confirmed that he's the same pitcher we saw last year in the championship. I think he's different. Nate is getting a...
If you swing your camera to the left, you can see the Skeeter's bird of paradise fluffing his feathers for the first time.
There's
not the pipe.
There's Tom Genrick taking some cuts, getting loose. Tom, you feel good?
You know you're filming the pipe.
Oh, let me get... There you go. Oh,
there
Tom, can you just shift over a little? Okay, Jeff's advancing on a, we'll call that a wild pitch. Chuck had a long at bat in his first effort. Resulted in an out. I don't recall how. Tom has inserted himself pinch hitting for his brother Dan Genrick, who's needed to shag fly balls in the parking lot. So Tom will step up and fill Dan's role in the mound. Fastball is going to break in on you, and he's got a splitter that tumbles and kind of falls off.
So then, is it forkball then? Is forkball more of a tumbler than a...
I thought it was a tumbling knuckleball, like a power knuckle. I've been convinced that I don't know what I'm talking about in that regard.
I mean, a power knuckle is a valuable pitch if you got it.
Mm-hmm. I think that was it. Did you see a knuckle up on that? I guess we could look at his hand. I've seen him load up with a splitter grip.
Have you mentioned Tom's on deck?
Oh.
What's the viewer count before and after you mentioned that?
Oh, we're up to 14. 14 viewers at home, Tom.
It's a good number for us.
Is there one out? Is the scoreboard?
One out, yeah.
Right? Second's creeping. We don't care. Good hack.
Good hold.
If he gets on, should I bunt?
With 2 out, 1 out.
Are you taking the bat? We had some hot tub discussion on whether Tom would bring a bat to his plate appearance, but he's going to try it. Oh, the end. It's mostly a bat.
95% bat.
Yeah.
Bat-ish.
As in the hypothetical, prove it's not a bat.
Chuck, well, I mean, last night we were talking about maybe I go up there without a bat at all.
Yeah.
And just force him to throw me 3 strikes.
I'm not giving up on that being our best strategy here. But you're gonna get an RBI opportunity.
I'm gonna get you in.
Pending something very weird here, which we're capable of. Hey, there you go, Charlie. Sorry, I'll try not to yell. I guess that's not my role here as the neutral commentator.
You don't have to be neutral. I mean, you can be one-sided like Paul Allen. I mean, clearly.
Should probably try not to be piercingly loud.
Yeah.
Or
Grading.
yeah. Well,
How exciting is this? This is so great.
Tom Genrick's up.
This is why people tune into the stream. Too.
Tom will tell you
Right
that
away,
he
baby.
doesn't relish
Rip to the
these
left.
types of situations, but I think we all know that that's likely true. So he's going to put a fair amount of pressure on himself here. Now he saw kind of a get me over fastball. I think the pitcher's seeing a guy added to the bottom of the lineup.
To let the jersey catch up, as he mentioned.
Yeah, but those pants are the pants of a man that's seen a lot of innings. You think the pitcher would recognize that. What he doesn't realize is that it's also the pants of a man that doesn't have working laundry facilities at home.
They work. He just doesn't know what to do.
I happen to have heard a story
Clean
of,
up on it.
of two
Not
non-functional
fucking-
dryers in Tom Genrick's basement. Hey, good hack. So, that's a tough pitch. It's a good hack, Tom. That's a tough pitch. Was that the splitter?
Second one wasn't straight.
All right, Clark.
Here's Tom Corcoran, our leadoff hitter. Also a Skeeter number swap for Tom. He was previously number 86. We gave him 86 as our final substitute jersey. And he switched to 92. Not a great read by Chuck, a better read by Jeff. So Jeff moves, Chuck stays.
Tough when you don't know if the leader
yeah.
is going to go.
Chuck is fighting through some snow shoveling fatigue. So he's saying his legs aren't quite as fresh as he'd like them to be. For those new to the stream, this may be one of the better run scoring opportunities that we'll see yet today with our leadoff hitter up first and third, 2 outs. Skeeters are down 7-0. You may be seeing Ken's sort of game day tracker app. Some of the rules in this league weren't supposed to be rules of baseball when they designed that app, so we were having trouble swapping in some of the lineup changes that we're allowed to do. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good take, that's up.
What do you like now, Clark?
3-1. Hard to know if he sees one here, if they still kind of pitch around. That should be out of play. Didn't sound like the bat necessarily survived that swing, but looks like Tom's unbothered. So full count. Casey, you want to tell Chuck that we have a full count? Yeah.
Who is it for? Full count? Chuck, full count. Here he goes.
What's the pitcher do here, Bob, as a guy who's seen a couple of these situations just today?
Fake wind up.
Yeah, just make him call timeout.
Or
We
fake
saw
wind
that
up and
move
get
up.
him a run.
Chuck's going. There's a good
Down.
piece.
And foul.
Just foul over third base. And it may be 5-6 feet foul. That could have been a double.
That's what I like. Clark's doing it himself.
Going
He
the
knows
other
he's
way.
got no help behind him.
There's 0 help.
He's ball four does not help us.
Yeah.
Somehow we
That's
can get to the
Casey
third hitter.
with modesty. We'll find out later in the hot tub if that was false modesty or not. That's a slow roller to short.
Hey! There we go!
He's on the board.
I was watching the home plate umpire for a call. The field umpire called him safe. You have him safe?
I haven't said.
All right, we'll call that safe. That's probably a hit. Okay.
Use your helmet.
Yeah. Don't get on base. I may need it in a couple if you do.
How much padding on this thing?
No, it's not gonna. Try not to get hit in the head. That's my strategy with that.
Purely ceremonial helmet.
It's like the John Olerud in the field helmet.
Good take. Casey, I don't think, is happy with his first couple at bats, so it'd be nice if he can get into one here. He's obviously very capable, despite what he is trying to tell this stream.
In fact, his words are, I wasn't too happy with my first.
Not a real aggressive swing there. He'll get locked in. This is a long tournament. This could go on for another 36 hours, right? So Casey's got time to figure it out.
And if not?
Bob, I thought you've looked really good out there on the mound. Would you care to sing in some praises of your pitching?
Yes, I would sing my praises.
I think
Throwing
there's been
strikes. They're putting in places where we're not.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple have been hit hard, but not to the tune of 7 runs. Yet that's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
There's a few plays that the Skeeters would like to have back, I think, for you.
Yeah.
You know, we try to run a pretty tight defense, but
I mean,
I felt like it took an inning or two for us to get our legs underneath us defensively.
I think that's right. We are here to play baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's unanimous, but
Hey, say nickel, go get one here.
you know, as everybody here misses their family and, you know, their parents and everybody back home, but you know, without baseball, there's not really an opportunity for 10 dad friends, or 15 or 13 in this case, to take a vacation by themselves and sit in the hot tub. So
That full count?
Do we equate the baseball game to the day trip to Joshua Tree and an activity that's happening while we're here?
yeah, Tom wouldn't be able to inform everybody watching, which seems like 14. So thanks for sticking with me here, those that are watching. But the team took a drive through Joshua Tree National Park.
I think so.
I think it's a national park. I think it's one of the newer national parks to be so preserved. But there's full count. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. Casey's selling the foul. He's not going to be very happy with that. Stark, you want it?
You take it.
I'll run out there. Thought that was a bad call, Casey. Tom, can I hand this off?
Situation.
Are you going out there?
Yeah, I'm going to go play baseball.
At least it's not as embarrassing as Germany, Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Soccer reference, Tom.
I think we're gonna get her in.
Yeah.
You know what that reference is? The 7-1 Germany versus Brazil semifinal.
No?
2020 World Cup, 2018 World Cup maybe. The one that was in Brazil, and they lost 7-1.
Yeah.
You know,
Couldn't have missed
Pretty
the
famous-
couldn't have missed the
famous
target
game.
more. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I understand the reference, but I don't know why he referenced that. It was an embarrassing loss.
Yeah. Why? Apparently.
Is this like I don't get it.
Why?
Trying to imply it was not quite as bad as the embarrassment that they suffered in
This is
7-1
not-
soccer.
this
Not
is
a
not an
7-1
embarrassment.
soccer match. Yeah.
Well, I think he meant the.
Oh,
as
the
bad.
score was 7-1.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
All right, that's why he brought it up.
Now it all comes together.
Yeah.
So I got an at bat. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Nothing makes you feel like a washed up ball player more than a good morning, good afternoon, good night. I will say, now they got a lefty warming up, which is miserable. I will say it's hard to see the baseball, and like it's a gray background. So like those first 2 pitches, I pick them up right away. And then that third pitch, as I was swinging, I realized, oh, this is one of those sliders off the plate. I'm not going to hit this.
It looked like you got 2 meatballs.
No, the second one was off the plate.
Was
The
it?
first one was a strike, yeah. but I had a hard time picking it up.
Okay.
Part of it's just my eyes.
I was thinking good for you for taking a pitch, and then you
took two, yeah.
Two that looked very hittable. But
Well, I think they probably were very hittable. I'm not denying that they were hittable. I'm saying the second one I thought was off the plate. And then when I get down 0-2, it's game over, man.
yeah.
So anyway, what do we got for a score? 7-1. We picked up one.
Yeah. 8-2.
I feel good about this game. I feel good that we're not getting our doors blown off. I feel that's particularly competitive, but
How many runs do they need to score before?
yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
What's the spread before? Start
Before you
speaking
can use
of
that, yeah. before you can use
speaking
that
of this
expression.
game in hushed tones. Game one. I would say anything over 10 runs, especially if it's like a 12, it's like a 14-2. You know, if it's like 17-8, that's different because it suggests that it's kind of back and forth. We're scoring runs. Oh, we did. What's the hop?
That's 3 hit by pitches, so Bob's got 1 more.
Yeah, I think if this is like the TCM Bale rule, it's their choice whether they want to pull him. I don't think they're going to be clamoring to see Bob go. But I could be wrong.
There haven't been a ton of hard hit balls.
Yeah, no. Nate tells me that there's been 2 instances where Bob got up 2 strikes, and Bob kind of hit too much of the plate with the pitch. But he said other than those 2 pitches, he's doing a good job moving it around, making him hit his pitches. There's a fly ball to center field, drops in front of Cork, but we're going to throw the runner out at second base. I think.
So that's an
8-4. Oh, 8-6, yeah. I think Cork measured that fly ball up, realized it was going to be a hard play to make on the fly, recognized that the first guy in first wasn't making an aggressive enough move to second base, so he let it drop in front of me and fired a strike in the
So is that
Seth
how
Fenton
do you
short.
score that? Is that a fielder's choice?
Yeah. No, it's a
I'm asking
fielder's
Tom
choice.
here, I don't know.
It's a fielder's choice.
It's got to be a fielder's choice.
Yeah, it's a fielder's choice. It's 8-6.
It's fielder's choice.
It's another line drive to Cork. That one also falls in front of him. This time we don't get the runner at second. Yeah. That was hit harder. The first one was hanging up there. It wasn't clear to me whether Cork was going to catch it. I don't blame the base runner for getting thrown out at second.
23 to the bottom.
Well, 8-6. It was. Yeah.
23 for 13. 23 for 13. Thank you.
Wait, who's on first? 16.
Are we keeping 2 books?
Hold on.
This is the first time in 15 years of Skeeters baseball that we've kept 2 books. Very often we don't keep 1 book. Don't pause it unless we think they're cheating. There's some confusion now as to I think where they are in the lineup and who's batting. Oh, this guy's got a quick bat. I don't know if Rob talked about the uniforms at all. Skeeters started with, in the early days, with kind of a maroon, very cheap pullover. Then we went to a red, traditional, heavier flannel, not flannel, but button down. This is going to get through the infield. Their runner at second is going to round third and head home. That's another run. Skeeters now down 8-1. We had a traditional button-down red jersey. It's very heavy though. Then we moved to the Skeeter grays, which we've worn for a lot of years, through the championship years. And then for this trip, we decided to get some new jerseys. I would say the reception on these jerseys has been somewhat mixed, if I'm honest. Rob Jones, the way I described it, when people ask me what I thought about it, is I think it's a ball down. I think Rob took what should have been secondary elements and made them primary, which is to say we have, instead of a mosquito on the hat, we have a patch of an inside joke. Instead of the word Skeeters emblazoned across the chest, we have another patch that represents something of a, not so much an inside joke as an inside tradition. We have another very funny but somewhat gimmicky patch on our sleeve. It's like the guy running down the first may have tweaked his hamstring. That's too bad. He's an older gentleman. I don't think he spends too much time in the gym. I think he attempted to do a squat there. He's staying in. Got a pat on the back by Rob Jones. One of the things we were hoping to do, and it's one of the reasons the stream was so delayed, was we were hoping to have some people wired up out there. Maybe even do some play-by-play from the field. But that guy looked very comfortable in the box. That was going to be station to station, but the throw came in the second, got by Seth at second base. That was less on Seth, I think, and more on the throw from right, wherever that throw came from. At any rate, 2-run score, base hit, 2-base error, 2 base runners score in the air, first and third. It's now 10-1. I suggested to Nate that I think if the score gets anything 10 or more, like I think like a 17-9, you can feel good about, but like a 14-2, that's when it kind of wince a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a pop-up. So back to the jerseys. I would have preferred a little bit the prime, what I regard as primary uniform elements, lettering, you know, the logo on your hat. I would have preferred something more traditional. We'll show everybody what we got instead. Oh, there's a nice try by Rob. Pop up down the first baseline. Rob kind of loped over to it. Rob has a running style that is always on. Hey, we got a sun sighting. Nobody wants to hear anyone on this team complain about the weather, so I'm just going to observe that we're seeing the sun today. Something we weren't sure we were going to see. There's a 2-hopper that gets under Jeff's glove. Runner on third can't really be bothered to cross home plate. I almost thought he was just going to give up before he got there, peel off, head out to his car and drive home. He just didn't seem to be very eager. Back to his teammates. Number 24 scores 11-1. Only the top of the 6th. There is no 10-run rule in these tournaments because runs against matters in the playoffs. So if we're going to get bludgeoned, we're going to have to stick around for the bludgeoning. We're going to have to bleed out for the next 4 innings or until the time considerations stop the game. Got through there, got out, no more runs, 11-1. So there was a play. This was 2 years ago, playing the Voyagers out at their field. Can't remember where the field was either. Whatever their home field is. And it was a rundown situation. I was out in center field. Now, the Skeeters, like many teams, aren't very good at executing rundowns. So rather than it being, you know, I don't know how many throws it's supposed to be, no more than 3. We must have had 8-9 throws before we finally take the runner out. And as a result, every fielder in the infield was involved in the rundown, because when there's a rundown, you know, all the fielders get kind of lined up, and you know, as an outfielder, you run in too in case you're needed in the line. As the ball's going back and forth, you field it, kind of run the base runner towards the guy on the other end that you're trying to force the runner into so you can make that throw to him. And then you peel off if the play keeps going, and the guy behind you kind of steps in. At any rate, we had 8 people involved in this rundown by the time it was over. Maybe 7. Maybe the catcher wasn't involved. We had one player who was standing in center field and didn't move a muscle. He just stood there, stock still, hands kind of crossed in front of him, and didn't move a muscle. This whole play played out. And this wasn't observed.